Welcome, creatures of all shapes and sizes, to Banged Up with Bruce Oldham, aka The Kid. This is an action sports podcast, the likes of which the world may never have seen before and may never see again. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, welcome you slimy snails to another episode of the podcast. Our guest today is Baily McDonald, super nice person, amazing snowboarder, actually snowboards at the same hill as me. Everybody's got to give her a round of applause because we had a guest planned for this week and didn't happen, and she came through last minute to be the guest on today's podcast. So it's a nice, short and sweet podcast with Baily. Ask a few questions about snowboarding, competing in World Cups, all that good stuff, all that jazz. And we run through it, and yeah, it's really enjoyable. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. She's an awesome person. She really saved my ass today to get this podcast out on Tuesday. And yeah, I really appreciate it. If you guys want to get any coffee that is not in my mug right now, because there's no coffee in my mug, drank it already. If you can't tell, I'm hyper. Go to Four Sigmatic. Their coffee is absolutely amazing. They have the Lion's Mane coffee, which is what I drink. Pretty much all I drink for coffee. And you can use discount code THEKID, all caps, on the website. And you get 25% off, I believe. So yeah, if you want coffee, good coffee, head over there. And with that being said, we're going to dive into today's episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, all the best from the kid. Here we go. We're screen recording. Everything's up. Everything's live. Excellent. I think we are Gucci. If she picks up. Hey, what's up? Yo.
What's going on?
Not much. Just living it up in my basement at the moment. You're looking nice. You outside? Everything? Wow.
Yeah, I'm in the backyard.
Hell yeah. No better spot for a podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
Sweet. You been well?
Yeah, been dealing with everything pretty good.
Yeah, crazy times, eh?
Yeah, it's insane. Like, the whole world is, like, insane right now.
Everything's slowly falling apart. First we got Corona, then we got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's truly sad. Oh well, we'll shed some positivity on some people today, I guess. We'll try to lighten some moods or something. Something along those lines.
Yeah,
All right,
spread positivity.
Yeah, exactly. All right, for those of you guys who don't know Baily, Baily's a snowboarder from Barrie, Ontario. Do you live in Barrie?
Yeah, I live like 10 minutes outside of Barrie. It's in like this little village, of course, but yeah.
Basically from Barrie, boards Mount St. Louis, same hill as me, and absolutely tears it up. Super stoked to have you on the podcast. Basically, this podcast, all I do is I just ask people some questions, like action sports people like yourself, talk about some shit. I don't know, have some fun, and kind of go over a little bit of this. I kind of like to start out the podcast just by like talking about who you are in general, so you can kind of go over that and maybe tell these guys about your past and how you got into snowboarding and action sports in general.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know, I've always been into like board sports, whatever it was. Like, started with skateboarding when I was like 4 maybe, and that just like clicked it for me. Like, I wanted to snowboard, I wanted to surf, like anything with a board pretty much. But I did start skiing.
No way.
So, yeah, like when
That's
I was like
awesome.
2.
Yep.
But, yeah, I started skateboarding, and then, I don't know, around 7, I started snowboarding, like, just cruising and stuff, and, yeah, and I started competing at, like, 15.
Yep.
Started training with Simple Snowboarding at the time. It's called Descenders now.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, awesome group of people there at Mount St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys are
They're
rich.
wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it just took off, I guess, from there.
Yeah, and just kind of became something that you love to do. I saw you post a video or a picture of a dirt bike lately. You've been getting into dirt biking, or is that something that you've always kind of been doing?
Yeah, I've always kind of dirt biked, like, since, around the same age, 6.
Sick, yeah. I used to dirt bike a while, and then I sold my bike. I haven't touched one in like 3 years, but my friend has a huge farm property, and we went out the other weekend, and we planned out a whole dirt bike track. We're going to rent excavators for one weekend and just build a sick-ass dirt bike track. We got all planned out. Yeah, I'm super stoked. I'm going to have to buy one now. I was like, oh, just help build. And then once we started planning it out, I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to spend like $3,000 on a bike again. But I'm kind of stoked. Yeah. It'll be fun summer activities, especially since everything's closed. So if you ever want a place to ride and you get set up, you're more than welcome to come. All right. So, I mean, a nice question I got for you is basically, what's your favorite aspect of snowboarding? Like, everybody likes everything like about skiing, snowboarding, like action sports. For me personally, I like being able to push myself and scare myself, and like I don't know, I also like just being able to, I don't know, be like, screw you guys, I can do this and you can't. But I also like, there's also the camaraderie and stuff about it. But what really sticks out for you for snowboarding and stuff, and what made you kind of fall in love with it and decide it's something you want to do?
Yeah, I just like, because I live right in the middle of like pretty much all 4 resorts.
Yep.
So it was just like the thing to do with your friends after school. Like we'd go to Snow Valley from 3 to 10
yep.
till it closed and just shred. So yeah, like all of my friends do it, and I love riding with them and stuff. But also like you just feel awesome landing a sick trick, like, and the feeling you get when you learn something is like it's unexplainable.
Yeah.
And then putting your own style on it and stuff. Yeah, I love it.
Totally, I totally get that. Yeah, like when you land that new trick that you've been trying for a while, you have to battle it out to get a trick. It's like that feeling of accomplishment, and it's like, suck it. It feels good. Yeah, it's awesome. That's sick.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and for you live in like close to Barrie, you said. So that's like, what's the farthest or what's the closest hill for you?
The closest is Snow Valley, which is like 8-minute drive, but
so that's nothing.
Yeah. Pardon?
That's not far at all. That's awesome.
No.
Yeah.
It's
but
close.
Snow Valley's kind of not the world's best hill.
It's a smaller hill.
But it's fun. Yeah, I've been there like once or twice. It's like not the biggest hill, but it's fun, especially if you're going up just shredding with friends and stuff. That'd be awesome. Great way to come up.
They have a really flowy park, even though it's small. Like that's where I learned everything. So it's like it's rooted there.
Yeah, that's how you learn the basics and stuff. That's awesome. Yeah. And right now you compete in Slopestyle and Big Air. I believe you don't do half pipe.
Yeah, I used to do half pipe a little bit, but yeah, mainly Big Air and slope.
Yeah, and you're on the Canadian snowboard team at the moment, right?
Like, I travel around with them and stuff. I'm mainly focused on being with the senders and that, but...
Because you're very centered with them, too. Yeah, that's sick. And because you've competed in some World Cups, and you've competed in some pretty big events, and I was going to ask you just what's that like, and how do you deal with the pressure and all that other stuff? Because I personally, like, for me, it took me, like, up until now just to figure out how to deal with the pressure of contest, to get in the right mindset, to do all that stuff, just to, like, actually dial in and run, and it's still impossible. Like, it's still very hard, but how do you deal with that, and what's that experience like for you?
Well, like, every contest, I'm still kind of learning to deal with it, but
yeah,
I don't know, I just try and ride like I do every day, like it's just another day.
Yeah. Same
people, like, you always compete with and that, so I just try to, kind of ignore the whole pressure thing and put in my music and just flow.
Have as much fun as possible.
Yeah, just try and flow.
Hell yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, well then, kind of trailing off of that, I would like, what's the coolest place or trip you've been on through snowboarding or like with snowboarding?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I think we're glitching out here. We might have a technical breakdown once again on the podcast. Sorry, Bailey. We're breaking down on the connections here. The wireless fires are not working well. All the young kids come home in the house, and then Bruce loses his Wi-Fi immediately.
Yeah.
So you just want to say that one more time? I heard like Prague, and that was about it. So.
Yeah. I went to Prague, like in the Czech Republic.
Yep.
And that was sick. And I don't know, Italy's pretty sweet though too. Like, it's wicked there. The parks are perfect in Europe.
Yeah, I've never gone to ride a park in Europe, which has definitely been something on my mind for a while, and I'm gonna have to make that happen. They look insane. It just looks like everything's built to perfection and just super. Yeah, it looks insane. I mean, most of these questions have been kind of like, I'm not really trying to like make this podcast very vulgar or anything, especially in the younger stages. Maybe we can get a little more people on the podcast. But I was just going to ask you, how important is it, in your opinion, for working out, eating, and being healthy and all that stuff when it comes to competing in sports and everything like that, and especially in action sports?
Yeah, it's super important. Like, if you're not like strong enough to handle a lot of impact and the amount of bales you take and stuff, then you're not going to get very far. So it's super important to keep up with the whole strength and conditioning thing, and eating healthy is a huge part of it. Like, I have a problem with eating candy, but I'm working on it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Because, like, I mean, basically action sports, like, especially when I was growing up, I don't want to eat healthy. I don't really want to go to the gym. I just want to send my meat and just try to learn new tricks. And I think a lot of kids come up like that, but especially nowadays with how competitive everything is, I think it's like, it's almost like, you, like, to be at the top and how, like, you really have to be focused on, like, all the little aspects that, like, just help you that 1%, which is, I mean, it depends on what you're doing. For contests like me and you, like, you definitely have to focus on that stuff, I think. So that's sick. Yeah. Cool. Well,
sure.
I don't want to take up all your time, so I'll ask you one more question, and on Jad out here, we'll do a quick little podcast. I really appreciate you coming on, because I didn't have a guest for today. I had one, and then people keep bailing. People, like, last minute crazy shit's going on, not able to do it. So I really appreciate it. What's the plan for the future? What's Baily's plan for the future? What's moving forward? What are you thinking? What's the big plan?
Yeah, so I'm just trying to see how this whole COVID thing, like, resolves, but I hope to compete next year and travel around with, like, the senders and stuff, and just keep going, keep pushing.
Sick.
That's the biggest thing.
I guess the deeper dive into that would be, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Yeah. I would love to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, that's always been a dream of mine. Yeah, just competing at the world stage. That would be the ultimate 5-year goal.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm just going to end everything here. All right. Well, that was our podcast for today with Baily McDonald. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Leave a comment down below what you'd like to see more of in the podcast, questions you'd like to ask. If you have any guests or people you think should come on the podcast, or you yourself want to come on the podcast, you can either hit me up on YouTube or Instagram, or, like, text me or whatever. But the more people we have on the podcast, the better. So let me know. And if you want to come on and you are an interesting, savvy young person, then I would love to talk spears with you. All right. Catch you next time. Peace.